Hey, what is up, guys? Today we're doing another video. I'm going to be talking about just a few things that have been on my mind, maybe also testing some stuff too, also playing a little bit of Melee and warming up. I have some things that I'm a little bit curious about against Falcon. I've been playing against some Falcons recently on Ranked, and I feel like I could be a little bit more efficient at ending their stocks early sometimes when I throw them off the stage, so I'm sure we'll take a look at that. But also, I just wanted to talk about some mentality stuff that I've just been thinking about. I just watched a random YouTube video that was essentially a podcast, kind of an interview, that has nothing to do with Melee or really mentality, but the guest said a few things that were kind of inspirational to me or maybe thought-provoking. So, yeah, we're going to talk about mentality. Interesting thing. Man, I call everything interesting, huh? That reminds me, I want to thank you guys. I feel like I've been getting a lot of positive feedback on these videos, and it's interesting to me because I hadn't posted a video in a long time before I did one of these, and I told myself that if these videos got 200 views, I would do the next one. And then within a day, I think the first video hit 2,000 views, and I was like, okay, that's kind of wild. I had a little bit of doubt, thinking that, you know, maybe the subscribers that were subscribed on my YouTube channel, maybe they were sort of like, I don't even know what the term for it is, but like, just vacant accounts that no longer paid attention to their subscription feed, or they were no longer interested in my content or something. So it's been really cool to hear that you guys like watching these videos. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is essentially irritability. How irritated I can get. Maybe you guys can relate to this. It's certainly not a new topic that I've talked about or something. I think that one of the first videos that I made where I'm just sort of sitting and practicing and talking, I talk about my struggle with being irritated by people's gameplay in the moment. Look at me, I'm just doing lich dashes like I always do. But then later going on and realizing that it's kind of all my fault, and that why did I even get upset in the first place. But the interesting thing that I want to talk about today is that I feel like it is more in your control than you realize. This is my theory. I don't actually know. It's kind of interesting. I also feel like it's the same thing with being consistent with your play in Melee. And I think that your mentality influences your play and your execution a ton when it comes to Melee, so it's not surprising to me that I think that both of these things are more in your control than people think. I think that some people just wake up, or they play, and they have a bad day of Melee, and they think to themselves, man, why is it that some days I pick up the controller, and everything I do, my brains just aren't connected to my hands? And for sure, you're not going to be able to play your best every day, okay? I'm not saying that I have some sort of solution to that. And they'll just write it off as like, oh, okay, probably nothing, just kind of a weird off day. And that sort of potential delusion could be helpful. Maybe it was just that you had an off day, valid, but maybe it was your sleep quality. Maybe it was literally what you had for dinner the day before. Are you currently fasting? Are you on a full stomach? How has your diet been in general? Are you hydrated? Do you have external stressors going on in your life that have nothing to do with Melee? I think, and maybe it's just because I have a little bit more of an analytical mind or something, because I'm always trying to diagnose issues when it comes to the game through analysis and then going and fixing those problems. But I also feel like you can sort of do the same thing for your mentality. You can sort of analyze step by step the things that brought you to be in a certain mental place. And I remember I was talking with my chat a little bit about Stoicism, like a sort of branch of philosophy that I enjoy a lot. or at least enjoy discussing a lot, because I feel like there's a lot of good lessons to learn from it. But I was talking about that, and somebody was sort of mentioning, or maybe a few people were mentioning, that, like, you can't control your emotions. And this is also kind of at the core of Stoicism, but it's sort of a weird topic, that, like, you can't control your emotions. You are who you are, but what you can control is your reaction to those emotions, how you treat those around you, the types of actions that you take based on those emotions, the sorts of things that you say. You're in control of those things. You don't control whether or not something makes you angry. You instead control what you do with that anger, which I think is a really useful way to go about things. But, and maybe this isn't even necessarily the point that anybody in my chat a year ago was trying to make about this, but I feel like it's all in the preparation. I feel like maybe you can't control your emotions in the moment. You will just have an emotional response to something, whether that's happy, sad, angry, motivated, whatever. Maybe you will just have a response. But I feel like through preparation, like I'm talking about irritability, you can make yourself more charitable. You can make yourself less prone to anger, less irritable. Or, of course, you could always go in the opposite direction, make yourself more irritable or less charitable. I'm assuming that the people watching these videos would not want to do that, though. And like I said, I feel like it kind of all comes down to the preparation. Are you staying well hydrated? Are you managing your dopaminergic systems properly? Are you exercising? Are you taking, you know, cold showers at the correct times? Are you seeing sunlight when you wake up in the mornings or whatever? All these things almost sound like life hack guru bullshit, but I find that I truly am less charitable and more irritable when I am hungry, when I'm dehydrated, when I am exhausted. And so this brings me to this, like, real life example, which is that I don't know, for those of you who've seen my return video, like, oh, I'm coming back or whatever, something I talk about is my mentality and how I really want to be more positive just as a person, but in interacting with people in general, whether that's interacting with my online opponents, my opponents IRL, my friends that I play in Melee, maybe the Twitch chat even, you know, understanding Twitch chat messages more and being more charitable to those people. I talk about how I want to do that, and that I'm taking positivity mode really seriously, which I most definitely am. But I found that when I came back from Tipped Off, for those of you who don't know, I went to Tipped Off. I didn't actually play in it, my first stream. It's going to be Gommel. But I went to Tipped Off, and traveling was a bitch. Oh my god. I woke up way earlier than I usually do. I got like 2 hours of sleep after I took a melatonin, so I'm drowsy when I woke up. I think I had a Celsius immediately because I had to drive to the airport. So I had to pack. I had to drive to the airport for over an hour. Had to go through all the lines. It was busy. It was loud. I had shitty, overpriced airport food. And then I'm afraid of flying, and I can't sleep on planes. So then I had to do an hour-and-a-half flight, which isn't that long. But even that was like slightly delayed, and then we got there, and we couldn't check into our hotel until late, so we couldn't even take a nap. It was awful. The tournament was awesome. Seeing everybody was awesome. Playing Melee with people in real life was awesome. I got great practice, but man, it was brutal traveling. And it was the same, if not worse, on the way back. And then I came back to streaming so excited and so motivated about my gameplay. I have so many, like, man, maybe I'll talk about this in a future video or something, but I have so many, like, refreshed ideas when it comes to high-level Melee that I'm excited to practice and try and bring out of myself even more. So I've, like, wanted to stream a ton, and then I found that when I've been streaming, I feel like I've just been a gigantic jerk. I read a Twitch chat message that's, like, kind of clearly a joke, and I take it personally. When somebody takes games from me, I feel like I need to be quiet and lock in. If somebody does something that's kind of cheesy or they lean into a one-dimensional strategy, I feel the need to talk about it at length. It's like, dude, how many years? 20 years? 22 years? 23 years? 24 years? How many years is it going to take until I stop complaining about the stupidest things of all time? Yes, the Falcon is going to full hop down air. Yes, the Marth is going to shield grab. Yes, the Sheik is going to charge needles on the side platform. If I don't like that, I should play a different game. It's actually absurd at this point, and I'm hoping that maybe you guys will come to the same conclusions as me. But all this to say, I like blew up on one of like a big supporter of the stream and a really nice guy. And then after the stream, I just felt terrible. I was like, dude, what was I? Why did I take that so serious? Why did I get so irritated about that? And I lost 3 games in a row. I lost 3 games in a row. Big whoop. Which is crazy because, like, I say I'm not a friendlies counter. I'm going to be honest, okay? I think some people aren't honest about this. I think I'm a friendlies counter. I've decided. I'm a friendlies counter. Not in person because there's no record of it, but I can't help myself but go back and look at the Slippy logs and I count how many matches we've played. I count up the little crowns on my side. Holy shit, man. I live for that. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad or whatever the fuck. Because I can also think back to the interactions and be analytical about it and improve those sorts of things. Blah, 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 blah. That's all fine. But I count up the friendlies. It's crazy. I think that on any given day when I queue up on Unranked, I will win well over 90% of the matches. Most of the time, well over 95 to 98% of the matches. And I still find a way to get upset. How stupid am I, man? Why am I so upset? Why am I so angry? Why am I so irritated? Why am I being so short with people? And I found that, like, you know, I really was doing a good job with positivity mode. And I would be able to do pretty long streams, 4 to 6 hours every now and then, of positivity mode and stay positive and nice and engaged. But I had these exhausting travel experiences. I was socially drained. I had so many conversations with people at Tipped Off, which I loved. I loved reconnecting with the community and talking with people, meeting people, reminiscing about old times with old friends, you know, seeing everybody. But I am an introverted person who has a very limited social battery. And then on top of all the travel and the fear of flying and the anxiety and lack of sleep, I got home and I ate fast food for like 2 days, and Lord knows that I don't stay hydrated enough. And then I stream and I lose a few matches, and now I'm blowing up on people again. It's like, dude, wait a second. I sat down and I was like, why is this happening? Which is something I used to journal about. I actually spilled soda all over my journal. I don't know if I've talked about this. I spilled soda all over my journal recently, so I have to buy a new journal. I still have not done that. I used to journal about, like, why are you so upset? And then I would, like, write everything out. And I realized that there's nothing wrong with losing a couple of unranked friendlies or whatever, even if the person is smurfing. But what I do think is happening is that I am just really irritated because I have not prepared correctly. And I think that when it comes to a tournament, I do pretty good at preparing for competition. I get myself in a very competitive mindset. I make sure to take care of myself. I have a system. But when it comes to, like, my day-to-day life, I feel like, man, this is interesting. I'm sort of thinking about this real quick. Is that, like, when it comes to real-life interactions, no matter how exhausted I am, I'm so... this is me, I don't know, I'm just talking to myself or whatever. I'm very generous and charitable and nice and humble and, you know, almost like egoless. I'm nice to customer service employees and all that kind of stuff. I hold doors open for people. I compliment people. I'm very patient. I don't know. But when it comes to interacting online, I have a really difficult time humanizing people, especially when I'm in that headspace. And so maybe there's an element of just like, I need to do a better job of humanizing understanding that there's a human being behind the usernames on my screens. And I think it's so hard to do, and I hope that maybe you guys can relate to that. But yeah, it's not that I'm just like a jerk when I become cranky, but I am a big time jerk when it comes to interacting with people online. Oh, there's a few thoughts that branch out from this that are all coming to me, which is like, I've had it before where I talk massive shit to somebody online, just about gameplay. I don't know anything about them as a person, whatever. I'll just be like, dude, this cheesy fuck is trying to do this, like, you could never beat me in a million years, whatever. Which I think, you know, some healthy shit talk is kind of fun, or whatever, but sometimes it crosses a line, and I just look like a gigantic jerk. And what happens, maybe you guys have had this before, maybe not, I end up seeing a picture of that person, and I think, oh, that's the guy that I was talking so much shit about? They look so nice. Or like, why would I talk shit about that guy? What? Like, look at him. He looks so happy in this picture with his girlfriend or something. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I sitting here being so mean to these people? What am I doing? As soon as I can humanize them, just by looking at a picture, everything like turns around in my head. I feel so vindicated and justified in being angry in the moment because they're lame and I'm cool and I'm aggressive and they're defensive or whatever. And then I realized at the end of the day, that human being was probably just trying their best. But like, dude, I need to do a better job of reaching that conclusion in the moment. And again, I think I stepped away from this premise a little bit, but I need to do a better job at preparing for everyday life because I live online. I interact with people via social media and Twitch and live streams and YouTube comments. I must do this, and I'm doing it right now. I'm talking to you guys. I think I need to do a better job of preparing, because I do think that I can control my emotions, but only in the long term. And so I'm going to do a bit better about that. Or at least I'm going to attempt to. Because I recognize my faults, and I feel embarrassed after going on tirades about how people are lame and I'm cool or whatever. I literally feel embarrassed. I think about deleting every single one of my VODs whenever that happens. I think, man, that probably wasn't a good look. I really should just delete that so nobody looks at it. And then I think, I should probably live with the consequences of my actions a little bit. I shouldn't try to shy away from who I am or who I was. I should just try to improve myself. And if somebody makes a judgment on me for being a jerk in that situation, so be it. Because I think that that is, that's fair. That is who I was. I can be the introspective guy who tries to come up with solutions, but I can also be the jerk that blew a gasket and, was really short with somebody in my chat or something, you know? Yeah, I was gonna say something when I was talking about seeing a picture of somebody, just humanizing people in general. But regardless, you guys want to test a option against Falcon with me real quick? This should be kind of interesting. So I'm gonna set the counter action on the ground to shield, so they have an option frame one. So if I do a down air here, can I do a double down air? I've been curious about, like, what the percent is that you can start doing double down air against Falcon, because I feel like I don't get it very well. Maybe it's because he goes higher off of Shine than Fox and Falco, but I feel like I can't do it. Let me just set him to no DI. We'll just set him to no DI a few times. Boop. And we'll record this, so we'll do a Shine. Okay. I just realized that I did want to test this within the video, even though I was talking about the thing. Wow, he was avoiding me. He does go pretty high. So maybe the height is the thing about it that makes this difficult, because you can't delay your down air too much. Maybe it's where I aim with the Shine, or the down air. Oh, this is so crazy, because I know that the percent should work. I just tested that. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna miss the down air. Or at least try to. And I will see if I actually do. There we go. Okay. Dude. Because I think I'm hitting his foot. Like, his feet are dangling right now. I think that is, like, something I kind of have to aim for to be able to hit this late down air. Oh, okay. And then what if I try to do it here? Yeah, if I do it off to the side where his feet aren't, maybe I can still hit it. Dude, it just feels wrong. Okay, I'm gonna try to aim for the feet again. Man, maybe this is fucking nothing. Maybe I'm telling you guys lies. But I'm trying to test it for myself, even. So regardless, this percent works, right? So 12% pre-shine. We have him at 20. Let's try to juice this to the max, because, like, you can do it around... I would look at 16 for Fox and Falco as a percent that I really like. Wow. I feel like I was doing a really good job. I feel like I'm doing a great job on all these. We're gonna go 18. Oh, there we go. Okay, so 18 you seem to be able to barely get it. Okay, that's fine. So 18, and then what is like the double down air percent that we could max out? We're gonna resave. So I don't want to knock him down. That's what I'm looking for. When can I do double down air? Okay, so is it 33? We're gonna try 32. 32. Okay, so 32 with unstaled down air is gonna knock him down, which you don't always want, of course, because then they can tech. So if I have him at 31, this should also just be easy. Now the issue is that you generally don't want to go for double down air when people DI away, because they can land cancel your down air. But Falcon goes really high off of shine. So let's, like, look at this real quick. If I shine him, I need 1 more % on him. So we're going to do this. So he's going to be at 31. I can still combo this. And I guess I can do it a little earlier, right? Not a lot earlier. We'll need to fast fall it. Man. This is so weird. It's a complete balance. Oh, what if I did an earlier down air? Weak down air isn't going to have more hit stun at this percent. But man, if I can run into him with the down air later, because I'm like closer to being able to fast fall. Man, so this is so tricky. And if they like smash DI up at all, you're not going to be able to get this. The timing is really weird. It's way weirder. You guys should just go try this for yourselves if you are curious about it. The timing's way weirder than Fox or Falco, it feels like. But I wonder, so just really quick, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about mentality or whatever in just a second. So if I DI away instead, and then we'll just no DI. If we DI away, how much easier... I wonder... I mean, that seems simple. But if they are able to land cancel this, you could get reversal grabbed here, probably. But doing the second down air maybe would help you avoid that? Like, maybe you do that? I don't know. I don't know. Falcon is going higher than Fox and Falco here. So I don't know if going for double down air on DI away against Falcon at these higher percents is fine. So I could do it at these higher percents, but let me just check again. So it was 18 that we could do it. I'm just going to have it so they're at 22. Let's see if we can combo it at 22. Dude, it's so funny that this little idle animation avoids me. Yeah, I mean, I might go for this. Because I feel like Falcons aren't trying to land cancel, right? I feel like what Falcons are trying to do, because they use grab instead of shine when they land, or shield, they don't want to be shielding. A lot of Falcons will SDI away grab, right? You guys have seen that probably a million times. Let's do SDI amount, random direction. Let's do away. I guess it'll do it on the shine too, but that should be fine. What happens is this, right? So you go for a just a regular. Come on, come on. We're gonna do 2 frames. Yeah. So you go for like a regular pillar combo, and you do down air shine, and it misses. Oh my god! It hit his foot that time. Crazy. I don't know. I've never tested this Uncle Punch Smash DI thing before, so I'm actually not sure about that either. But so you get 2 SDI inputs away. Oh, he should also be DIing away. Is he? No, he's not. So we'll put him at trajectory DI away too. This will probably just make it instantly work, right? Yeah, let's just do 1 frame now. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I could juice my down air to be a little bit better. Probably cover this. We'll keep it at 2 frames. I think I broke the bot, because he's not doing the smash DI. Regardless, you know, they SDI away and grab, but I think if you do the double down air... Is this just like a kill, even? Oh, you could do the KJH thing here. Let me try and do it. Dude. I have to delay this down air more. Yeah. So the whole thing, you have to trust the delay on this first down air. Oh, I almost got it. No, this is actually so hard. I don't know how Kalindi does it. But yeah, still, I think the double down air seems really good here. And this is one of the earlier percents that you can do it at. So, the fact that I'm getting it seems pretty sick. Yeah, that seems so good. Okay, I'm going to mess around with this a little bit more against Falcon. It does seem like it works till a higher percent, but they do get sent higher, so the timing is tricky. And it also starts at a slightly later percent against Falcon, but maybe he has a larger window where you can do it because he doesn't get knocked down by down air until later. It's kind of interesting. I've only ever tested this against Fox and Falco. But hopefully you guys found this interesting. Hopefully you guys found my mentality talk a little bit interesting. I forgot I was going to talk about this, but the title of the video is probably going to be this, that like, turns out I'm still human. It definitely felt like when I got back from Tipped Off that I fell back into these negative headspaces where I was just exhausted and not fun to talk to. And so I'm going to address it. I'm going to try to be better. I will literally change actions in my day-to-day life to try and be less irritable and to be a better conversationalist with you guys, better to my opponents online, and we'll see what I can do. But I tripped, but that doesn't mean that I can't get back up and keep walking. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.